Hello, Mesa Verde. Welcome back. Today, we're going to talk martinis. All right, martini, classically, is actually made with gin. However, we don't really drink a lot of gin nowadays. Due to James Bond, he really popularized vodka martinis. So we're going to talk more about the vodka than we are the gin. So, first thing we're going to talk about with martinis, it's really simple. Vermouth. What is vermouth? Do you want vermouth? This is vermouth. Vermouth, in a nutshell, is wine. So, you're at a bar. You want to order a martini. There's a lot of weird little lingo you can use. Do you want a dry martini? Do you want a wet martini? Do you want a perfect martini? What do they all mean? They all actually translate to how much vermouth and what kind of vermouth. So people think dry. Oh, vermouth is dry. So if I ask for a dry martini, it's gonna have more vermouth in it. That's actually the other way around. It's weird, I get it. Confused the heck out of me when I first looked it up. But if you order a dry or extra dry martini, it'll actually have more vermouth in it. You want to order a wet martini to have as little vermouth as possible. Or you can just tell the bartender no vermouth or give them the ratio you like. Then you can ask for a perfect martini. What is a perfect martini? Equal parts sweet and dry vermouth. Sweet vermouth is going to add sweetness. So if you want to try the classic version, the real martini, you want a 1-to-1 ratio of London dry gin and dry vermouth. I'm going to put these bad boys away. Not going to need these for a bit. We're going to talk vodka. Vodka is basic distilled spirit, unaged. Over here, you got a couple examples of American vodka, Tito's and Smirnoff, and then the Crystal Head, which is actually Canadian vodka. And then to my right, you have various amounts of European vodkas. Kettle One, can't remember exactly where Kettle One's from, but somewhere in Europe. You got Grey Goose, which is French, and Belvedere, Chopin, which are both Polish. There's all sorts of vodkas out there. Poland and Russia are considered some of the gold standards for vodka. Don't ask them where it comes from. One of them, a Polish person will say it comes from Poland. A Russian person will say it comes from Russia. They both argue back and forth as to who actually invented vodka. Just get one of their vodkas and you're usually fine. All right, so there is a difference between American vodka and Canadian vodka and European vodka. The big difference, besides maybe what grain they use, is actually the distillation process. Europeans use a pot still. We in the West use column stills. Column stills, think of them as much more modern. They're more proficient. They really get down to the basics of essentially ethanol. American vodkas are essentially ethanol. It's almost pure alcohol without much flavoring to it. While the European ones with the column stills, you don't get as perfect of a distillation process. It does allow for more impurities, more flavorings, things like that. So European vodkas will typically have more flavor to them. And vodka's fairly impartial when it comes to flavor overall. So now that we know what kind of vodka you want, we know about the vermouth, let's get into a little more. You can order your martini dirty. Dirty martini is very simple. It's martini with olive juice. That's it. Adds flavor, a little bit of salty brininess. Personal preference, you can ask for it, lightly dirty, extra dirty, Friday night dirty, maybe a 2-to-1 ratio or a 3-to-1 ratio, or you could just say 1.5 ounces of olive juice. Usually something along those lines is the best way to get what you actually like at home. So I recommend playing around with it at home. You like dirty martinis, but sometimes you like them more the way one person makes them than another person. Try measuring the amount of olive juice you use. And then you can really hone in on how much olive juice you like in your martini, and you know exactly how to order it from then on out. Now, you can also get a Gibson. What's a Gibson? Martini with pearl onion instead of olives. That's it. It's the same thing. Kettle One Gibson, it's a Kettle One Martini with a pearl onion. So, wet, perfect, dry, vermouth levels. Gibson, dirty, flavoring components or garnishes. You can also order it with a twist. That's your basics on martinis. They're really that simple. And we're gonna show you how to make a couple fun martinis. It's called the lemon drop. Lemon drop is real easy. It's 2 ounces of your favorite vodka, a ½ ounce of triple sec, 1 ounce of simple syrup, and 1 ounce of lemon juice. Right, next drink we're gonna make, it's called the Aviation. Aviation is a gin-based martini. This one has 2 ounces of your favorite gin of choice. I recommend using a London dry gin, a ½ ounce of maraschino liqueur, 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice, and a 1/4 of an ounce of creme de violet. And then you're gonna garnish it with a Luxardo cherry. All right, we're talking martinis, right? Gotta talk about James Bond. So the James Bond martini that's been perpetuated throughout the movies has been a vodka martini, shaken, not stirred. But if you look at the original novel, the 1953 book, Casino Royale, the first Bond book ever made, he actually describes it as equal parts vodka, gin, and Quina Lillet. So Quina Lillet doesn't exist anymore. Lillet still exists as a company, but they were taken over by a different company. So what we knew as Quina Lillet, you can't get. You can still get Lillet. Another thing that a lot of people like to use is Coca Americano. So you can use that nowadays instead. Similar flavor profile, everything else will be very similar to what they used to use in Quina Lillet. Now, this drink is called the Vesper. So if you go to a bar and you order a Vesper, they can make that for you. Fortunately here, we don't have Lillet, so I can't make it for you here, so you're gonna have to go somewhere else on this one. Or you can just go to High Times and buy some Coca Americano and just get it that way. So to make a real Vesper, you want London dry gin. I would recommend Bombay Original because it's got a picture of the Queen on it, and James Bond works for the government. Picture of the Queen is a good thing. Now, he would use a Russian vodka with this. The drink Vesper is named after the woman Bond fell in love with, who was a Russian agent, so thus you want to use a Russian vodka. And we have Stoli, which is Russian, and Stoli Elite, which is high-end Russian, which fits with Bond with his bow ties and everything else. So, to make a Vesper, equal parts Russian vodka, London dry gin, with a ½ ounce of Coca Americano. So that's it for me this week. See me next week. We'll talk more about your favorite spirits, and send us your pictures and videos of you guys enjoying your martinis, especially the ones living out on the course. Send them some lovely pictures of you drinking a martini with our amazing course in the background. And hopefully we'll see you guys soon. Until next week, Mesa Verde.